Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to paying homage to our previous spy guide by making the exact same stupid decision that I did last time in allowing Twitch to decide what I wear via a donation goal. So here we are once again wearing a silly costume, making me look like a Muppet because Twitch are a bunch of assholes. Otherwise known as a Warframe video. Now, other than me dressing up all fancy-like, today, as I've mentioned previously, we are going back and remastering our old spy guide, improving it with more professionality. It's a bizarre term, I know, but sometimes wrinkles of professionality do show through my existential crisis of general outfits I wear. But more professionality, more detail, and hopefully an up-to-date with all the new tile sets and methods to which we're going to be using to do the spy missions with. Now, before we begin, a couple of quick pointers to make with this video before we get started. First of all, is that there are many frames, methods, and ways to handle spy missions. Everything we show here is going to be as new player incentivized as possible, without going into any unnecessary levels of gimmickiness. The idea here is we want to take this video as a foundation. If you figure out a better composition, method, or process, then that's the power of innovation, my friends. At that point, please leave a comment down below if I've missed something or there's something you think that could work better, and we'll have a great discussion about how we can get that information out there to help all those new players looking to learn spy missions. Secondly to that, I will be aiming to make this video as short as possible, because let's face it, there's a lot of spy missions out there. In fact, last I checked, there's 17 spy missions in total, and between those 17 spy missions, you've got 50 or more individual challenges, and each of those individual challenges can vary based on different conditions. So, suffice to say, if I were to do all of them, this video could possibly be 3 hours or more. So, we're going to be avoiding gimmickiness, we're going to be avoiding anything that's unnecessary, and only be going over the fundamentals that will help you get the foundation of how to do spy missions and help prepare you to learn them better. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get ready to not fail a single spy mission and help people learn about them. Yes. So, first of all, your spy missions are all going to have some semantics to them that you'll want to keep in mind for every single one of them. Detection. Getting detected will start an alarm timer. This timer varies based on the level and tile set, but should you start an alarm by getting detected, and should the timer then run out, you fail. Most normal spy missions only require you to get one of the spy vaults completed to be able to leave that mission with a reward. However, things like the sorties and special mission types will often fail even if one of the vaults are failed, hence encouraging you to try and be a bit of a completionist. The rewards. On the note of the vault, the way the rewards work are rather simple. You get a reward for each vault you decipher, so you're incentivized to make sure you complete all of them as and where possible. And to compound that, there are a lot of rewards from spy missions that you can't get from anywhere else. These include a Harrow component, the entire Ivara set, and a crap ton of affinity and mods that you will not get from anywhere else. And furthermore, muscle memory and practice are far greater than anything else when it comes to getting good at spy missions. Spy missions can be a pain to start with, but with muscle memory and practice, they should eventually get to a state where you can do them blindfolded, so don't be afraid of failure. I can guarantee you that from my own perspective, because even after 7 years of playing the game, I still find myself failing the occasional spy mission. Fear not, it's natural. They are one of the only mission types that actually have a high risk of failure and actually require some level of skill to finish. Furthermore, leading from that notion, there are several things you can do to prepare yourself for your spy missions, such as the following. The first and most prominent, I would suggest, is to use the secondary outside resources to practice your Grineer and Corpus hacking. These are on a website that you can literally practice the style of hacking before you go into the mission itself. Additionally, building ciphers from your foundry allow you to auto-hack consoles without any fear of failure. Just keep in mind that that does not work in the sorties and special mission types. Frame choice is absolutely pivotal when it comes to making life easy for yourself. I mentioned earlier that this all comes down to muscle memory, and I stand by that. I used to do all my spy missions with Rhino originally back in the day, but there are certainly some frames which will definitely trivialize the entire process. Ivara and Loki are by far and away two of the most used frames for spy missions. Ivara has a slow stealth, but one that's very efficient and very time efficient as well. and with a useful augment that allows you to traverse lasers without any issue, Ivara is definitely one of the most go-to frames to use. Although, having said that, with Ivara, you have to realize the irony. To get Ivara, you need to do stealth missions. And by the time you've done enough stealth missions to get Ivara, you probably don't need Ivara to do stealth missions anymore. Then Loki is a very consistent frame based around stealth. In fact, his entire gumpture is around being invisible. So it kind of speaks for itself in terms of how useful Loki can be. Ash is then a good mid-between with some decent stealth as well as some good damage output as well. Octavia being a good choice with a refreshable stealth on the fly, although there is some complexity in how that works, but nonetheless makes a good stealth frame. Then you've got Limbo, who isn't necessarily stealthy, but by utilizing Rift mode, whilst you're in Rift mode, you can traverse lasers and generally traverse most spy missions without much of an issue. And the final, and my personal choice, is Wukong. Wukong has an ability called Cloud Walker. You basically ascend into the sky, and whilst you're in the sky, you can traverse all forms of the vertical and horizontal axes with ease and speed. Whilst in Cloud Walker, you physically can't be detected by lasers or enemies. So you've got stealth, speed, and traversability. Wukong, if you had to use as a stealth frame, is by all means my favorite choice. Give him a try, you will see what I mean. Essentially, you don't even need to build him for duration to get a decent stealth build out of him, as his default duration is more than enough to have Cloud Walker last for a good 3 or 4 seconds, which, in terms of doing spy sections, is more than enough. Now, there are others which can do well with spy missions. These are just the ones I would suggest for most effective and simple execution, especially for new players. The ones that can give you a crutch to rest on while getting used to the process of spy missions, that give you ease of access and general simplicity for not being detected. And finally, before we actually start showing you the spy missions and how to do them, I want to make a couple final notations about how you can prepare for spy missions and what will help you out the most before you actually get started. 1. Have patience. Spy missions aren't meant to be rushed, much like the rest of the game, and rushing will make it much more likely that you will get caught and fail. 2. Practice. Learning the maps and tile sets will make your life infinitely easier and increase the rate you nail and the muscle memory for each test. As well as using the secondary resources we mentioned earlier, muscle memory and practice are probably the most pivotal aspect to getting good at spy missions. It will just take time. 3. If you intend on killing things, use silenced weapons. That's kind of a go figure. Number 4. Don't bring pets. You can do, but if you're going to bring pets, avoid bringing the loud ones, hence your doggos and your kitties. They're going to probably bring more attention than they're worth. 5. Don't go into a spy room when another player is doing it. I mean, come on. That's just a dick move. I believe the terminology is too many chefs confuse the pudding? Or however that saying goes. Point being is, 1 person per spy segment, guys. Common sense. Hello? And 6. Don't panic. I'm sure I could make a shirt with this on, but more often than not, if an alarm goes off, you still have time to finish the challenge. So given that, once you get the puzzles into your memory, you can often get to a point where you can just blast through them even if the alarm goes off, but still try to, not get seen preferably. Either way, you have plenty of time when the alarm goes off to finish your spy segment. In fact, most of them have a time frame which allows you to do the entire process of that spy segment within the time of the alarm given. And would you look at that? I actually came back again in my physical form before the content started. Rare, I know. What's even more rare is what I'm about to mention. For the first time ever, I'm not gonna talk through my guide. Weird, isn't it? I'm going to have footage running in the background, showing you the paths with annotations where needed if a part needs a bit more explanation. Or if a part really does need more comment about it, like a personal preference I do, then I will interject with a comment or two. Otherwise, you're just going to get the raw visual evidence on how each segment works without me overbearing and talking over it like some bubbly baby bitch. So essentially, I will only show the main path for completing each challenge, i.e. if a path is literally a straight line, I won't show path B. That just takes you around the mountains and lowers my self-esteem. The main reason for this is that if there is an easy path to take, I don't want to bore you with overly complicating a run when the simple answer is just take the simple answer. And in an attempt to make this video less than an hour long anyway, which probably won't happen, but still. a longer video than I expected, but hopefully that will cover every element of doing every single spy section you would ever need to know, or at least from the basic point of view of it all. So, if you liked it, please make sure you like it. If you have any suggestions for how you would do certain segments, then please leave a comment down below, because I can assure you I've missed out some parts that would be worth putting in. And otherwise, hopefully this is a better video than what we did before, even if I am still wearing the same stupid outfit. Note to self, make good decisions on YouTube videos, but also make good life decisions on not letting Twitch chat decide what you wear for the day. Either way, thank you for watching, leave a like, subscribe, check out our Twitch and Twitter, and I'll see all of you top hatters in the next, hopefully not so badly decision-making video. Ta-ra! In the name of the moon, I will punish you. Kinky. Alright, that's done. That's all I need.